Today we are going to talk about simplifying expressions. To simplify our expressions, we are going to combine like terms. Now, before we begin, let's go through a couple of vocabulary words. First, we have the word terms. Terms are parts of your algebraic expressions. In the expression 3x plus 5, 3x is a term and 5 is a term. Like terms are terms that have the same variable that is raised to the same exponent. Here, 3 has a variable of x and 5 has no variable. Therefore, these are not like terms. I can't combine these any further. Here, I have 2y plus 3y. Both of these have the variable y, and the variables are not raised to any exponent. Therefore, 2y and 3y could be combined to make 5y. That would simplify our expression down. It's also important to remember that constants are like terms. So this 5 up here is a constant because it does not have a variable attached. Therefore, if there was another constant, those would be considered like terms and I could combine them. Lastly, we have simplest form. An algebraic expression is in its simplest form when it has no like terms and no parentheses. There's nothing more that we can combine to simplify it down. Okay, so to combine like terms, we've got 4 steps to follow. We first rewrite our expression if there is subtraction. Don't lose the negatives. After that, we find like terms, and sometimes it's helpful to note the like terms, which we can look at a couple of different ways to do that today. Step 3 is to add the coefficients of the like terms. Again, being very careful of your negatives in this step. And then lastly, you write your expression in simplest form. Let's take a look at this example. We are to simplify the expression 5x plus 5 minus 2x. Step 1 is to rewrite your expression if there is subtraction. We have subtraction right here. So I'm going to turn that subtraction into addition and use the opposite of positive 2x, which is negative 2x. So I've rewritten my expression. Now I find my like terms. In this situation, 5x and negative 2x have like terms. Step 3 tells me to add the coefficient of these like terms. I have 5 plus negative 2. Being very careful with our negatives, I add that 5 to negative 2. This gets me 3 attached to the same variable, which is x. Lastly, we rewrite in simplest form. I take that 3x and add it to my constant, which is 5. Let's try a couple of different problems here. We'll start with this one, negative 6a minus 9. My first step is to rewrite the expression if there is subtraction. We do have subtraction, so I do need to rewrite. My negative 6a stays the same, but this needs to turn to addition of the opposite, which is negative 9a. Now, in this case, these both are like terms. We've got that a and that a. There is no exponent. Therefore, I can combine those. Negative 6a plus negative 9a gets me negative 15a. And there is my expression simplified down as far as I can go. All right, let's try this second one. We've got 14x plus 2 minus 3x plus 5. Okay, so again, step 1 is to rewrite our expression if there is subtraction. 14x stays the same, plus 2 stays the same. Here's our subtraction. We turn it to addition of the opposite, so that 3 turns negative. Oops, excuse me, I almost forgot my x. Negative 3x plus 5. So this right here is a term. Okay, so that x has to stay attached to that 3. All right. We did step 1. We changed our subtraction to addition. Now I need to find my like terms. So one way that I can do that is by boxing or circling my like terms. So I'm going to box my x's. And then my constants are like as well. So I will circle those. From here, I take positive 14x plus negative 3x, which will get me 11x. I will add that to my combination of 2 and 5, which is 7. Right here, I have my expression written in simplest form. I combined my variables, my x variables, combined my constants, and I'm good to go. All right, we've got one more example here. Again, our first step is to rewrite if we have subtraction, which we do. 3b stays the same, add it to 5. My subtraction turns to addition of the opposite, making that negative b. I add 2 plus b squared. All right, a next step is to identify the like terms. Last time, we used different shapes to identify our like terms. This time, I'm going to use colors. So I've got 3b and negative b. Now, I've got b squared over here, but that does not work with my negative b and my b because this b has an exponent of 2. It is raised to the second power. Therefore, b squared and b are not like terms. Okay, so this is a term of its own. And then lastly, we have our 2 constants. Okay, now we can start combining. I'm going to start by combining my green b's. 3b plus negative b is 2b. Next, I'm going to combine my 5 and my 2, which is 7. And then lastly, my b squared has nothing to combine with, so I will leave it as is. Therefore, this is the simplified form of this longer expression. So these are equivalent. They do equal each other, but this is much more simplified.